Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are a regular here. This is the continuation of the Idaho 4 series of readings, and today I'm looking into the energies and intentions of Molly McMichaels, who was the alleged DoorDash driver. Guys, I've just literally recorded this reading and I went to play it back and there's no volume, and there's no reason for that at all. I don't know why it happens, but I think spirit are messing with me. So I'm re-recording it, but clearly the cards could be different. But either way, I am going to tell you before I begin of certain significant things that I picked up the first time I tried this. Before I begin, disclaimer, this is a psychic reading. I use oracle cards and tarot cards and occasionally get messages from spirit to help me understand and decipher people's energies that are either involved or allegedly involved in the unalivenings of the 4 people on the 13th of November 2022. So as we know, Molly McMichaels has been named as the DoorDash driver. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen, but one of the most significant things I picked up during that reading that I just did was that I was told by Spirit, one of my guides said that she was not the DoorDash driver, she was not delivering, she was collecting. She was there to pick up, not to drop off, which makes sense as well. So keep that in mind as we go through this reading, because she I don't know if she ended up parking directly outside the house, but I know at one point she had her car was around the back of the house rather than in front, which is the kind of thing you would do if you were going to pick up some illegal substances, let's just say. So anyway, I'm going to get straight on with this because I want to get this out. I want to get this to you before it's too late in the evening. So let's start again, even though to you this is the first time. But Molly McMichaels. She's also, the other thing I want to say about her is the bit of research I did on her, one of the things that I thought was most interesting or most significant, which gave me a bit of a chill, was that her ex-husband was unalived in 2013. And I know that that has some significance as to what happened, why it happened, what connections did he have, who was he, all of that kind of thing, which definitely deserves some looking into, which I won't be doing in this reading, but I will certainly be doing at some point. So, Molly. Let's see. Okay. So the first card is Make a Change. It says embrace growth, seek new paths, and welcome transformations with an open heart. And then we have Recovery Comeback. Find strength and healing as each step forward renews hope and paves the way for a triumphant resurgence. These cards are actually showing me some new things that I hadn't picked up on when I just did the reading the first time. And that is that we know, for those of you who've seen Molly McMichaels, it is pretty obvious that she has got a substance abuse problem. However, what I feel with this is that she has been very useful to law enforcement, let's put it that way. Having her as a key witness during the Brian Koberger case would have been invaluable to them. But I think she has been invaluable to them before that as well. And what's interesting is that she wouldn't be invaluable if she had cleaned her act up. If she was clean and was no longer involving herself with the underworld, shall we say, she's not going to be of any use to anyone. So there's something here about them keeping her in that world, or keeping her addicted in some way, which is interesting as well. It feels like she's made efforts in the past to recover, to change her life, to you know, because she hasn't always been like this. The pictures I saw of her around the time that her husband had his life taken, she looked like a very different person. You can go and Google it, go and have a look. She's not always been like this, but she's been kept at a certain, you know, she's been kept under, yeah, I don't know how else to put it. So let's move on. The next deck is the Souls. Sorry guys, as usual, can never remember the name of this deck. The Power of Self-Direction. So this one is Soul Whispers sorry, I think that's meant to say internal state. Nature, therapy, finding spiritual release. And then we have opportunity, perseverance, conquest, spirit, untapped potential. God, there's some really bad spelling mistakes on these cards. I think that is just alluding to using substances to kind of release herself from, it was her therapy basically, especially probably after what happened with her husband. I feel like she declined. That's when her real decline happened from then on. And I did say, when I just did that reading, this reading, I'd love to know how much she's declined since the 13th of November, because if there's been a significant decline in her addiction or in, you know, in general, then that is significant as well. It means that she knows something, or she's witnessed something, or there's something happened here. But I do sense that she really wanted to change. So the next deck is What Lies Beneath. Okay, so we've got 4 cards here. We've got outdated, expired, disused, old news, discarded. We've got envy. Total drama action. This one came out in when I just did the reading the first time. And we have promiscuous, and this one came out as well. Promiscuous, sleeps around, hot, free for all, sleeps with your man. Now, when I saw this the first time round, at first I thought this card was alluding to something to do with Emma Bailey. And it may have, there may have some significance here, because I do feel like these 2 cards together are something to do with Molly knowing who Emma is, and any time they've put it this way, they don't like each other. They don't get on. But also the other thing I saw was, this goes back to something to do with why her husband's life was taken. And I did see something about, I mean, I'm not saying it is the reason, but there was something here about potentially someone who was possibly sleeping with her husband. And did that person also have a husband or was in a relationship? And was that the person that took her ex-husband's life? I think there's more to it than that, but I did pick that up. The envy card, envy, and the outdated card. I think she wanted to be, I think if there's anything you could say to Molly, what do you want more than anything? And that is, she wanted to be old news. She wanted that. She wanted law enforcement to forget about who she was. She envied anyone who had a life that was free from the interference that she had continuously and constantly with law enforcement. I think law enforcement harassed her like anything. When you see the videos of her when she's being stopped, the traffic stop, it's like, here we go again kind of energy from her. It's like law enforcement have pursued her on a regular basis. I honestly believe that. So let's carry on. The next deck is one of these days I will memorize these decks. It's not that one. Echoes of the Soul. Okay, same cards. Guys, you can't go wrong with tarot. If you're going to repeat a reading, guaranteed, you're going to get the same sort of energy. So this card is Threshold, the Threshold, and Unseen Stories. So the Threshold, when I saw this card the first time, it has something to do with a doorway, a threshold. She saw something. I feel like Molly saw something, and I don't know why. I feel like it had something to do with her seeing bodies being moved, either being moved back into the house or being moved out of the house. There's something here about a doorway, her witnessing something, even if it was only for a split second, she saw something. Then we have Unseen Stories. I didn't have this one before. Mystery, hidden truths, curiosity, discovery, unveiling the unknown. It says, every life holds untold tales, secrets woven into the fabric of the unseen. Unseen Stories invites you to step beyond the surface and into the depths of curiosity. Behind every closed door lies a narrative waiting to unfold. Are you avoiding truths that long to be revealed, or are you yearning to uncover what lies hidden? Embrace the mystery, for in exploring the unknown you uncover pieces of yourself you didn't know were missing. There's this energy of no longer wanting to be beholden to law enforcement, or no longer having to dance to their tune. You know, it's like, I almost feel like at one point she would have done, especially once she realised she was going to have to testify to something that potentially was untrue, she would have done anything to get out of that, including committing crimes to put herself in jail to stop her having to. But would that have stopped her? She still would have had to testify even if she was in jail. But it's something that she, with every fibre of her being, didn't want to do. I almost feel like she also contacted Bill Thompson to beg him to get her out of it. But there was a lot of talk, like almost brainwashing into, do you realise this is an opportunity for you to turn your life around. This is where people change their opinion of you. This is where you get to change your story. Not, I mean, literally, yeah, change your story of who you are. You know, it's, I don't know, there's all that kind of stuff. But she was 100% against it. And then this final deck is the vocab deck. Okay. Oh God, what is going on? Okay, so there's a few cards, and the first time I had a lot of cards as well that came out of this deck. So they're different, but let's see. So the next, this card is loathe. It says loathe, and loathe is, it means reluctant. The card says to admit defeat, the cougars fought on, though effectively beaten. And we also have internecine, destructive to both sides in a conflict. Yeah, I mean, loathe is self-explanatory. She was very reluctant to do this. She loathed to admit defeat. And then destructive to both sides in a conflict. And that's to do with the actual trial. This would have been, there was something here which was destructive to both sides. It's almost as if she had information that could have potentially screwed both sides. I wonder if it's something that may have been one of the catalysts for why a plea deal was offered. Then we've got tenuous, and it says weak or fragile. The truce was so tenuous that neither army demobilized. So truce, if you can call a plea deal a truce, it is in a way, I guess. It's not a truce as such, because it's not, you know, if Brian Coburg has admitted to guilt that he's not guilty of, that's not, you know, that's not benefiting him. It is in the respect that he gets to stay alive, but whatever the truce was, it's weak, it's fragile, there's cracks in this, and I think she is one of the cracks. Molly McMichaels is one of those cracks. How do they keep her on side? Capricious. To be truly great, an artist must embrace the capricious side of her creativity. Capricious, which means unpredictable. They think she's unpredictable. They don't know what she's going to do next, because she's got to a point now where she doesn't care. You know, before, I feel like law enforcement have kept her in a place because she's been so dependent maybe on her addiction or other things, and now she's got to a point where she doesn't want to be dependent anymore, and she'd rather be in jail for the rest of her life than be dependent, than have law enforcement or whoever is running her life. She'd rather, in some respects, she'd rather not be here at all, I think. Then we've got venerable. Venerable, which means respected and admired. The athletic director, recognising the fans' devotion to the venerable old coach, kept him on long past the point when he could be truly effective. See, I think that's about, I don't know why, I just think that is about Bill Thompson, who is respected and admired in his circle, however wide that circle may be. he may have done her a favour in the past, you know, and the other thing was I wanted to find out if he had any involvement in her husband's trial, ex-husband, her late husband's trial, because it's almost like she owes him a favour kind of energy. Patriarch, which is male elder, again, feels like him, that kind of energy. Vito, the patriarch of the Corleone family, commands both fear and admiration. But it could also equally be someone else who has that kind of energy. She's definitely got connections or she knows people, or she's had dealings with people in the past. We've got Gargantuan, which is gigantic. The Gargantuan Laurentide ice sheet was 2 miles thick and covered all of Canada. And we also have grandeur, impressive splendour. The grandeur of the Spithead Naval Review of 1897 during Queen Victoria's 60th Jubilee symbolised the apex of British power. Something was huge, something's big. Maybe what she knew was gargantuan. Maybe the pressure she felt was gargantuan. Grandeur. She was definitely, there's definitely some energy of being mentally manipulated into something, or believing something, or yeah, it's like brainwashing. But also very, very gaslighty kind of energy as well, that she was put through by law enforcement, or and then augment. We've got augment, which is to increase or expand. Muhammad Ali's comedic taunting actually augmented his boxing skills. And we have comprehensive. Thorough, complete. The Broncos' comprehensive defeat in Super Bowl was the worst in history. Yeah, augment to me is her story was augmented, or she would have augmented her story. Her witness testimony was going to be augmented. It's going to be stretched. It's going to be made bigger than it was. It's going to be falsified, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, the law enforcement knew she was there. They found out she was there that night. She was in the area. Her car was seen. They were like, perfect opportunity. We can pull her in and she can be a witness. We can tell her that she saw Kohberger. It's so obvious. It's ridiculous. So obvious it's ridiculous, but let's see. So we're now going to clarify. And I'm using the Tarot of the New Vision. So the first card is Make a Change. Clarified by the Nine of Cups, Tower reversed. So again, we're going back to a time in her life when she was ready to make positive changes in her life. It feels like she's, again, one of those people who, she doesn't feel like someone who's always had a traumatic life, or has always struggled, or is like some people are, you know, where they come from a broken home and then it just escalates from there. I feel like at some point she was probably quite well respected in some regards, and her life has just spiraled. But then she's got to a point where she's decided to get her life back, which is what the Nine of Cups is about. It's finding pride in herself again. It's like, okay, I this is not who I am. I need to make efforts. I need to find myself again. The Tower in reverse, because she knew if she didn't, she would have ended up, as far as she was concerned, she would have ended up on the streets, or even dead. And then we have the Recovery Comeback. clarified by the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles feels like an opportunity that she was faced with, and she knew that it would have been the easier thing to do, to take an opportunity, like someone's given her an easy out. If if she needed money, if she was struggling for money, here you go, this is an easy, if you do this, then all your worries will be over. It might not be ethical, but you can do it. You know, it could be like getting into the underworld, you know, as in rugs, selling rugs. The Nine of Pentacles is whatever she was doing it well. It feels like, yes, she took the opportunity, and whatever it was, she was doing it well, and she had control over her life at that time. We're talking a while ago here. We're not talking about around the time of November 2022. It's before then. And then we've got Soul Whispers, internal state, clarified by the Lovers. Oh, okay. These two cards came out before as well. The Lovers and the Three of Pentacles. When these came out last time, they came out further along in the reading, and they came out around a situation where I said that I thought she'd witnessed bodies being moved, and I specifically, it was either Kaylee or Maddie. The Three of Pentacles is the law enforcement that were involved in that. 3 people, specifically 3 people. But this is earlier on, and we've got Soul Whispers, eternal state. I wonder what relationship she was in, not at the time, but before. Who was she involved with? And also, I think she's got children. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she has got children. And there was something about her children's safety at some point or another as well. I don't know what these whispers are about. And the word state is something to do with the state. Whispers of the state. Opportunity, perseverance. 10 of Cups. And the Emperor reversed. So again, this one, when it came out before, this was actually directly linking to her late husband. Her late husband was someone who was significant. He held some weight. I don't know who he was, but he was someone, and I don't know in what circles, but he was taken out. And the 10 of Cups is her family at the time, which felt like a well-adjusted, happy family. Her children at the time, I presume, were very young. If she had her children, I presume she had her children then. There's links. This is all linked, guys, and I don't know how yet, but let's see what the outdated, expired, disused card is saying. Clarified by the 8 of Pentacles reversed. 6 of Wands reversed. Like I said, I felt like this card meant that she wanted to be old news. She wanted to be forgotten about. the Eight of Pentacles reversed is deciding to let go of something. It's like saying I've been working hard to do something, or to uncover something, or to discover something, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm letting go of it. I'll let go of it. It's like trying to come to some sort of agreement, whether it's with law enforcement or someone, and saying I'm not digging anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not interested. You have my word. Please just let me be. And the Six of Wands is, she at the time was given that grace. It's like, don't let us ever hear your name in our circles again. Whoever this is, I don't know, whether it's law enforcement or someone else. They're like, you go off, you live your life. We don't want to hear from you again. So she felt like she was winning. And maybe, you know, maybe all she was doing around the time of November 2022 was, maybe she did have a part-time job as a DoorDash driver. I'm not denying that. I'm saying she probably did. And maybe she did still take the odd illicit substance in her spare time. And maybe she did, I'm just saying, maybe she did sell a couple of bits and pieces, but I don't think she was some big time player, put it that way. So whatever she got sucked into that night, the Total Drama Action card, which, and when I saw this the first time, guys, I saw an interaction between her and Emma Bailey, because they were there at the property. Now, whether it was they were there at the property when Molly turned up to pick something up, because they were picking up, she was picking it up directly from Emma Bailey, possibly. I mean, that makes more sense to me. But whatever happened, there was a bit of a ding dong. There was an argument. There was a fight. There was something kicked off. I don't think it was anything bigger than something verbal. Did I not say something about in Emma Bailey's reading that there was also a shouting match or a fight, but I thought it was between her and Demetrius. So whatever it was, something was triggered, and I don't know why or what it was. This is clarified by the Queen of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. It's something to do with an exchange of money. Queen of Swords, which I think is probably more likely to be EB than Molly, and the Six of Pentacles. Something about a disagreement over an exchange, like a transaction. It's like, it's almost as if, as far as Molly was concerned, Emma owed her something, but Emma was still asking for money, if that makes sense. It's something like that. Then we have envy. Clarified by the Ace of Wands and the Strength card. So, and again, there's rumours that Molly was with someone. She wasn't alone in the car that night. Quite possibly she was with someone. And whoever she was with, this Ace of Wands indicates that someone had designs on the person she was with, whether it was Emma, I think she envied Emma for her looks probably more than anything. Not that, not being funny, but not that Emma had much to look at, but maybe it's because Emma was very good at, she had a way about her with men. So anyone that maybe Molly felt like she was attracted to, or she felt like she was building something with, was threatened by Emma much of the time. There's an insecurity here about her. The Strength card also. There's a battle of wills here. There's a battle of egos. There's, you know, one female trying to prove they're better than the other one, or I don't know. And then we've got this promiscuous card. So what is this about? Clarified by the Magician. And the Knight of Pentacles. Whoever this female is, they're manipulative. They get their own way 9 times out of 10. It's not Molly. Could well be Emma. Like I said, the first time I saw it was Emma, but I also saw a connection to what's been going on in the past for Molly. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. She had to wait for something, Molly. She was there for 15 minutes, apparently. She had to wait for something. Or did she deliberately hang around? Maybe not in full view, but did she hang around afterwards? Did she find somewhere discreet to wait afterwards to because she wanted to know, she felt like something wasn't right. And then the Threshold card, clarified by the Knight of Cups reversed and the Moon. So, sorry, it's a King of Cups in reverse. King of Cups reversed and a Threshold. What's Ethan? What's his sign? Because it could be him that she saw being moved. The Moon. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's not like she saw the whole thing. She didn't see a body being moved from one property to another. I almost feel like there was a member of law enforcement standing guard while it happened. Or was there to distract or to make sure the area was clear of any... I don't know, it's weird. And then Unseen Stories. Clarified by the Two of Swords reversed and the Ace of Pentacles. She's had her choice taken away from her. Something again, she's been offered, I don't know if she's been offered money, but she's been offered something. It's like some sort of deal. You don't have to worry about this anymore. I don't know why. Again, I feel it's something to do with giving her security for her children or something. And then we've got loathe and internecine. Clarified by the Star reversed. The Queen of Wands reversed. So I think, you know, if we're going to talk about someone she loathes, I don't think she likes Emma. I mean, there's probably more people than Emma, but as far as the people I'm aware of or I know, but then we've got this internecine, which is being destructive to both sides of a conflict. It could even be that she knew that Demetrius and Emma were there. Was that enough to blow everything apart? So that's the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Star in reverse. She did not want to be in the public eye. She did not want to be in the public eye for so many reasons. She's, whether she likes it or not, she is. You know, she's whether she went to trial or not doesn't matter. She's in the public eye now, and everything, well, not everything, but bits and pieces are coming to light that people have to be a little bit open-minded with. Let's put it that way. Gargantuan and grandeur. So gigantic, impressive splendor. Who is this? Nine of Wands reversed. Sun reversed. This is someone who's already in jail. This gargantuan, grand, impressive energy is someone who's already behind bars. And they're huge. Someone she knows. Why has that come up? The Sun in reverse. The truth will never come to light is what this is about. But it's something to do with someone behind bars, someone big. It's not Brian. It's not Brian Koberger. Tenuous and capricious. Weak and unpredictable. Hanged Man reversed. Queen of Pentacles. Sure, we had these cards before as well. The Hanged Man reversed is the Hanged Man reversed. Everything's on hold. It doesn't feel like anything's been actually, we haven't got to a point of it's done, it's over, it's history, move on. She knows that. The weak or fragile is actually referring to the case as a whole. She knows that there's so many holes in this, and she is one of the cracks. She is one of the weaknesses in the case that could blow this whole thing apart. What she knows, and I wonder if there's going to be an appeal, and I'm pretty confident there will be, she'll end up being a key witness for that appeal, because she's going to get so much more out of it than she would have done had this gone to trial. The Queen of Pentacles, I think could be someone like Anne Taylor, or whoever's taken on Brian Koberger's appeal. Someone's approached her, or someone will approach her. So now we've got augment, to increase or expand, and comprehensive. Someone wants her to basically spill the beans. Someone wants her to just sit down and tell them everything she knows. Like, don't be afraid, don't be scared. You're doing the right thing. From the energy, from what were you told to do? What were you? What's the reality? But what were you told to do? It's that kind of thing. What were you told to augment? But what was the truth? Clarified by the Five of Cups reversed and the Six of Cups. It's interesting because she's got connections. Molly has got connections from her past. It's so complex because these connections should be, when you look at it on the surface, are all working for the same reason, will have the same motivations as law enforcement. It's like they're on the wrong side. But there's something here. The Five of Cups reversed. It's like saying, you think I've got nothing. You think I'm working with the bare minimum, but you're wrong. It's showing someone her strength, what she has in her hand. It's showing someone her hand, and they're going to be like, wow, okay, we're in trouble now. Venerable. and Patriarch. Who is it? Who is this venerable, respected and admired male elder? Someone Molly knows well. Seven of Wands reversed. The Hierophant. Seven of Wands, she's taking some of their power away. She's not giving them the power anymore, put it that way. Up until this point, it's like she's allowed whoever it might be, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's the law, whether it's whoever, to have an ultimate amount of control over her, to make her believe that she has no choice. When she's coming back now and she's saying, I have got the biggest piece of this puzzle and you are the one that's powerless. And the Hierophant is, this could indicate the legal side, it could indicate law enforcement, it could indicate someone very high up. I don't know who it is, but this is an institution of some kind. She might seem like a no one, but she's got some very valuable information. And it's not just about proving that Brian Koberger is innocent, it's more about proving that certain people are not innocent. It's about that. It's almost like a revenge thing for her. It's like getting revenge, getting something that she's always wanted. And it's also about finding her freedom. It's interesting, guys. This is one of those people I just want to look at. I want to explore more about this person. She's not who you think she is on the surface. When you look at her, she looks like a helpless addict. And maybe she has been. Maybe she's gone through some dark times in her life. But she's got, you know, there's more to her. She's far more complex than you think. Her life hasn't always been about, you know, being a low life, if you want to call it that. So guys, thank you for the second time, even though, you know, you didn't miss out the first time. Spirit wanted me to do it again, so I did it again. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, guys, as always. Thank you for your love, your support, your encouragement and your engagement that I return to you tenfold. See you next time. Enjoy the journey.